This is not a sci-fi movie scene. These are real places hidden within our world. They appear in strange shapes and colors that defy imagination and break familiar rules. From forest lakes to dark oceans and majestic waterfalls, they form a surreal, natural world. Humans cross darkness to enter glowing ancient realms that feel like another planet. Now, let's explore the most alien places on Earth, where logic seems to disappear. Reflection Canyon was formed by millions of years of sandstone erosion, part of a canyon system carved by the flow of ancient rivers. The rock layers belong to the Triassic and Jurassic periods, more than 190 million years old, exposed in colored veins across towering cliffs. Its S-shaped formation is visible only when the water level drops, leading many to mistake it for a science fiction setting. NASA has compared this terrain to the surface of Mars, calling it a natural laboratory for studying planetary geology. With no fresh water and harsh terrain, reaching the canyon requires walking dozens of miles through unforgiving desert ground. For many climbers, conquering Reflection Canyon proves endurance and survival skills before what is seen as a living geological museum. Pamukkale is famous for white limestone terraces like a cotton castle, created by hot springs rich in calcium bicarbonate flowing non-stop. When the water reaches the surface, carbon dioxide escapes and calcium solidifies, coating slopes with smooth white stone. For 2,000 years, people used the thermal waters here to treat skin, bone, and digestive diseases with natural minerals. Hundreds of pools shaped like terraces, each 1 to 2 feet deep, act as strange natural basins. Water changes color from turquoise to milky white to pale yellow, depending on sunlight and mineral content. NASA once used satellite images of Pamukkale for spectral tests because its natural white surface reflects light with great intensity. Lensois maranhensis is famous for emerald lagoons appearing between giant white dunes, creating a surreal landscape unique on Earth. This land is not a true desert because it receives more than 47 inches of rain every year, enough to form thousands of temporary lakes. Beneath the white sand lies a clay layer that traps rainwater, creating lagoons up to 10 feet deep, lasting several months. The area covers more than 600 square miles, as wide as Houston, and each rainy season, up to 4,000 lagoons may appear. The fish called peixe d'anuvon survives by hiding eggs in dry sand, waiting for rain to hatch within days. NASA studies this terrain as a model for alien planets, while tourism peaks from June to August when lagoons reach their most beautiful stage. Great Blue Hole is a nearly perfect circular sinkhole in the deep ocean, over 400 feet deep and nearly 1,000 feet wide. At a depth of about 130 feet, divers begin to see giant stalactites and stalagmites rising from the sea floor. The bottom water has almost zero oxygen, creating a dead stratified zone where no large marine life can survive. In recent years, images of the hole have appeared on magazine covers as a symbol of untamed natural wonder. In ancient native beliefs, the hole was seen as a gate to the underworld, where spirits hid beneath the sea. Cappadocia is famous for giant fairy chimneys with wide tops and narrow bases, shapes so strange they look like objects from another world. The land was formed from volcanic ash eruptions about 60 million years ago, creating soft, tough rock that is easily eroded. Some stone columns reach 130 feet, their hard caps protecting them from erosion and allowing the formations to survive for centuries. Inside many rocks, ancient people built ventilation shafts, stone doors, and escape tunnels designed like underground shelters. At sunrise, hundreds of hot air balloons rise together over the ancient stone landscape, creating one of the world's most spectacular scenes. The silence and absence of city lights make Cappadocia one of the best places in Europe to watch the stars with the naked eye. Vatnajökull is the largest glacier in Europe, covering 8% of Iceland and spreading over 3,100 square miles of massive ice. Its ice averages 1,300 feet thick, with the deepest parts over 3,100 feet, equal to 3 Empire State Buildings stacked together. beneath lies an active volcanic system that can trigger Jökulhlaups, powerful glacier floods recorded by Icelanders for centuries. Ice caves form translucent blue domes, reflecting light and creating the stunning effect of a glowing frozen chamber. Natural ventilation holes release pressure. Without them, the ice roof could collapse within minutes. Many caves change shape or vanish after each warm season, making every exploration a once-in-a-lifetime experience. Lake Hillier stands out for its fixed pink color that never changes, even during heavy rain, intense sun, or strong wind. The color comes not from light or reflection, but from Dunaliella salina algae and halophile bacteria producing carotenoid pigments in salty conditions. The lake is about 2,000 feet long, separated from the ocean by a narrow strip of land, yet the waters never mix. In the 19th century, attempts to harvest salt here failed because the extreme salinity corroded metal equipment. In local folklore, the lake is seen as a colored well, symbolizing the boundary between the natural and supernatural. To protect its unique microbes, swimming and mass tourism are completely banned at Lake Hillier. Deadly shocks, with dozens of blackened trees standing still on cracked white clay, looking like they float in mid-air. This used to be a wetland, but the water vanished around 900 years ago, leaving behind a dried clay pan. Burning heat split the silt and clay into circular tiles that resemble ancient floor bricks across the basin. Camel thorn trees died in the 14th century, but never decayed due to the dry air and absence of moisture. The area is framed by red sand dunes over 1,000 feet high, glowing against a deep blue sky in full contrast. With harsh light and perfect natural composition, this place is called the most surreal photo spot on Earth. Fly Geyser is a unique man-made geyser in the US, erupting non-stop and glowing with surreal colors created by heat-loving bacteria. The geyser stands about 12 feet tall, constantly shooting steam and mineral water 5 feet high under deep geothermal pressure. Water temperature reaches around 200 degrees, allowing microbes to thrive and cover the surface with red, yellow, green, and orange. It was born after an accidental drilling for underground water, leaving behind one of the strangest human-triggered geological phenomena. Jiangxi Dangxia is known worldwide for rainbow-striped sandstone mountains formed through 24 million years of tectonic uplift. Each color band reflects different minerals like iron, copper, and calcium, layered under shifting dry conditions. It's a classic Dangxia landform, unique to China, where sedimentary rocks bend, and erode into colorful patterns over time. In local belief, the land was once sacred. People avoided walking here after sunset, thinking spirits guarded the hills. In 2010, NASA confirmed this region had the strongest land-based spectral reflectivity in Asia, visible even from space. During the dry season, strong winds lift mineral dust into the air, forming pale mist that makes the colors even sharper. The Danakil Depression lies about 410 feet below sea level, created by the separation of three major tectonic plates. It is one of the hottest and driest places on Earth, with surface temperatures rising above 150 degrees in summer. Many volcanoes and lava lakes remain active, some lasting for decades, releasing toxic gases and shaping surreal terrain. Earthquakes occur frequently, constantly reshaping the landscape and challenging any form of life to survive. Salt was once considered white gold, mined and traded for centuries as the foundation of the local economy. NASA and many international scientists study Danakil, seeing it as a natural laboratory for the search for life beyond Earth. The Cave of the Crystals lies about 980 feet below the Nika mine in Chihuahua, Mexico, discovered in 2000 by miners. It was formed by magma heating mineral-rich groundwater, allowing crystals to grow for at least 500 years. The main mineral is selenite, a transparent form of gypsum, creating some of the largest natural crystals ever seen. Some crystals reach 36 feet long and weigh over 55 tons, called by scientists a window into the Earth's primeval past. Inside, temperatures hit 136 degrees Fahrenheit with nearly 100% humidity, making access and study extremely dangerous. These extreme conditions mean people can only stay briefly, yet the cave reveals one of the planet's most unique mineral landscapes. Antelope Canyon was shaped by rare but powerful flash floods, carving the ancient Navajo sandstone that dates back more than 190 million years. The cliffs rise up to 120 feet, bending like giant stone ribbons, with passages so narrow only one person can pass. The wave-like texture comes from combined weathering and erosion, creating walls often compared to fossilized ocean waves. The canyon is divided into two parts, the upper and the lower, each producing dramatic and unique light effects. The name antelope comes from the time when pronghorn antelope once roamed the harsh landscape. Antelope Canyon serves as a vital source of income for the Navajo, often described as a gateway leading to another world. Spotted Lake in Canada is famous because, in summer, the water recedes, revealing countless bright mineral circles that look extraordinary. These circles are not created by living organisms, but come from crystallization of magnesium, calcium, silver, and titanium. Each mineral ring carries its own color, like blue, white, yellow, or green, shifting constantly with the season and temperature. The indigenous people once saw the lake as a sacred ground, believing it held healing power and protection against misfortune. From above, the entire lake appears like a giant abstract painting, with glowing white edges around cracked surfaces. The fusion of geology, science, and myth makes this lake one of the most unique wonders of Canada. Waitomo glowworm caves in New Zealand are among the world's most famous underground caves, attracting with the rare sight of thousands of glowworms shining on the limestone ceiling. The cave was formed from limestone millions of years old, eroded by an underground river into chambers, columns, and complex stalactites. Its worldwide fame comes from the natural green glow of Arachnocampa luminosa, a species found only in New Zealand. Inside, the scene resembles a starry sky, yet every point of light is produced by tiny organisms clinging to the cave roof. What makes it unusual is the mix of science and nature. The glow not from minerals, but from chemical reactions inside the larvae. This fusion of ancient geology and unique biology makes Waitomo glowworm caves a wonder, both mysterious and scientific, unmatched anywhere else on Earth. The door to hell in Turkmenistan is a giant fiery crater formed in 1971 when a natural gas well suddenly collapsed. Soviet engineers ignited the methane to prevent environmental disaster, but the flames have burned relentlessly for decades. The crater spans hundreds of feet, glowing like a colossal torch across the Karakum Desert, visible from miles away. By day, shimmering heat waves distort the air, while at night, the glow transforms the desert into a surreal sea of fire. It has been filmed in major international programs, becoming both a scientific symbol and a mysterious landmark of Turkmenistan. The fusion of geological reality and blazing spectacle makes it one of the most extraordinary fire pits on Earth. Firefall in the United States is known for its rare optical illusion when a clear waterfall turns into a glowing red fire under sunset light. This event happens only in late February, when the sun's orbit aligns perfectly with the massive granite cliff. The water source comes from melted snow cascading down cliffs thousands of feet high, feeding the short-lived waterfall for a few days. Reflected light transforms the water into blazing orange and blood-red tones that fade into gray as the sun disappears. Ancient traditions described the glowing stream as a soul fire that awakens once each year. The spectacle lasts less than 10 minutes, yet marks Firefall as a striking symbol uniting water, fire, and light. Lake Nachan in Tanzania is an extreme salt alkaline lake where water reaches a pH near 12, strong enough to burn flesh. Its color shifts from deep blue to blood red as halophilic algae and salt-loving bacteria release powerful pigments. Water temperatures can rise above 120 degrees, turning the lake into a giant chemical furnace inside the East African Rift Valley. Animals that fall into the water become coated with minerals, leaving eerie stone-like statues across the barren shore. It is the largest breeding ground on Earth for lesser flamingos, with millions gathering each season. Lake Natron stands as a living laboratory for science and a brutal frontier between survival and destruction. Igen crater stands out with the largest acid lake on Earth, a giant turquoise pool with a pH near 0, extremely harsh. Rare blue flames erupt from burning sulfur gas at night, turning the crater into a surreal stage of fire. White smoke and bright yellow sulfur crystals cover the slopes, forming a scene both brutal and mysterious at once. Rising above 9,000 feet, this active volcano keeps releasing toxic gas, testing both humans and even scientific equipment. Local miners carry sulfur blocks heavier than 130 pounds down the mountain, using only simple tools, risking their lives daily. NASA studies this site as a natural laboratory, comparing its extreme environment with the harsh conditions found on planet Venus. Sondung is the largest cave on Earth, tall enough to fit a 40-story building and wide as a Boeing plane. Inside grows an underground jungle with trees over 100 feet high, forming a rare isolated ecosystem unlike anywhere else. Giant sinkholes let sunlight flood in, creating a clash of shadows, mist, and hidden forest under the stone dome. Towering stalagmites and stalactites rise over 200 feet, ranked among the biggest mineral formations ever discovered. A subterranean river flows through the cave, crystal clear, feeding the underground forest, while carving dark chasms in the limestone. The inner climate generates its own clouds, making scientists call it a parallel world sealed beneath the mountain. Whakaari, or White Island, is the most active marine volcano in New Zealand, with most of its body underwater, but a crater over 1 mile wide, releasing toxic gas. In the 19th century, the island was mined for sulfur, leaving behind industrial ruins scattered across ground coated in ash and yellow crystals. In 2019, a deadly eruption killed and injured dozens, marking one of New Zealand's most severe natural disasters. The island's landscape is covered with grey ash, black rock, and green chemical stains, resembling a world beyond Earth. Boiling mud pools, new fissures, and steaming vents appear constantly, proving this volcano has remained active for hundreds of continuous years. Socotra stands out, with nearly 40% of its plant life found nowhere else on Earth, making it a hotspot for rare species. Its long-term isolation has turned the island into an open-air evolution lab with clearly branched biological systems. The island's geology is formed from ancient limestone and coral sediments, layered over tens of millions of years. Dragon's blood trees, with umbrella-shaped tops and red sap, cover the dry highlands and symbolize Socotra's strange beauty. Strong, seasonal winds tilt trees permanently in one direction, creating a visual effect as if time has frozen them. The best time for international visitors is February to April, when winds ease and the trees begin turning bright red and yellow. Chocolate Hills is known for more than 1,200 symmetrical cone-shaped hills, forming one of the rarest geological landscapes in Southeast Asia. The hills stand between 100 and 400 feet tall, spread across about 20 square miles, creating an endless chain of rolling mounds. Their core is made of ancient coral limestone, shaped by tectonic uplift and millions of years of erosion. The name Chocolate Hills comes from the dry season, when green grass turns dark brown, like giant pieces of chocolate. They are a national, natural symbol of the Philippines, once appearing on both coins and postage stamps. Seen from a drone at 300 to 500 feet, the landscape looks like a natural matrix arranged by a perfect algorithm. The wave is a sandstone formation shaped like frozen waves, born from Jurassic dunes nearly 190 million years ago. At certain times of the year, some bands of red, orange, and white glow from iron, manganese, and calcium, painting a natural masterpiece in stone. Winds carve deep curves, etching abstract ridges that look like an eternal wave frozen in time. Dinosaur tracks and insect fossils remain locked inside, silent witnesses of ancient evolution. Photographer Jack Dykinger won a Pulitzer with his image of the wave, making this wonder known worldwide. Only a few dozen permits are granted each day, making it one of the hardest places to reach in America. Trollsteigen is famous for 11 sharp hairpin bends packed into just 4 miles of road, clinging to a steep mountain slope. The road was built on ancient glacial terrain where ice carved deeply into gneiss and granite during the last ice age. Rock layers here are over 400 million years old, fractured and compressed by tectonic forces of the Paleozoic era. The name Trollsteigen means Stairway of the Trolls, linked to legends of giant creatures in the Nordic mountains. It is seen as Norway's symbol of road engineering, proof of human design working with harsh natural landscapes. Temperatures at the highest bends can be 20 degrees colder than the valley, once making it a test track for Koenigsegg brakes. Reynisfjara is where black sand, white waves, and hexagonal basalt rocks meet, creating one of the most surreal coastal landscapes in northern Europe. The beach formed from ancient basalt lava flows thousands of years ago, leaving behind iron and magnesium-rich sand that does not break down. Basalt columns stacked like architectural steps were shaped naturally by slow cooling lava that cracked into six-sided patterns. In Norse mythology, this place was seen as the border between the real world and the realm of darkness. Reynisfjara is a sacred but dangerous site, famous yet unsafe for swimming due to sudden, violent waves. Many visitors come to photograph the basalt pillars, but are warned to stay back from the water's edge at all times. Transfagration is famous for more than 50 sharp turns clinging to the mountainside, forming a giant metal snake across the Carpathian Range. This mountain road stretches over 90 kilometers, with sections climbing more than 2,000 feet in just 6 miles, causing noticeable air pressure changes. In harsh winter conditions, heavy snow and thick fog often force the road to close entirely due to safety risks. Over 6,000 tons of explosives were used to blast through solid ancient rock and carve the road into the mountain. The construction caused hundreds of worker injuries and deaths, but it created one of the most daring and dramatic mountain highways ever built. Top Gear once called it the best road in the world, while motorcycle fans see it as a peak-level driving pilgrimage. Paisu Pok stuns visitors with crystal-clear water, letting you see the bottom more than 10 meters deep, like a giant, unbroken mirror. This freshwater lake formed naturally on coastal limestone, surrounded by equatorial rainforest, with a stable and untouched ecosystem. The lake stays almost wave-free due to the absence of strong wind, creating a sense of absolute stillness in wild nature. Tall trees around the lake cast reflections, creating a visual illusion called the sky under the lake, sought by many photographers. Some fallen trees continue living underwater thanks to unique root systems, a rare survival phenomenon in nature. Recently, photos of the lake went viral online and earned it the title the bluest lake in Indonesia for its rich color saturation. Vinicunca stands out with its parallel rainbow-colored stripes across the slopes, looking like a giant multicolored silk ribbon on the mountain. The mountain rises about 117,100 feet, making it one of the highest tourist destinations in the world, accessible by foot. It was formed by millions of years of mineral deposits, with tilted layers from tectonic shifts that kept the colors arranged without mixing. Before 2015, the peak was covered by snow all year, hiding the rainbow layers and keeping it unknown to most. The entire landscape is rocks, minerals, and colorful bands with almost no vegetation, creating a surreal and otherworldly visual effect. Some studies suggest the mountain's minerals may contain traces of ancient microbes that survived in extreme environments. Eit Ben Haddou is a classic fortified village in Morocco, built from clay, palm wood, and stone, standing strong through centuries of history. Ancient underground water channels allowed residents to live here despite desert conditions and extreme day-to-night temperature swings. Houses were designed as solid blocks, keeping cool during the day and warm at night without industrial materials. Since the 17th century, dozens of houses, narrow alleys, and watchtowers have climbed the hillside like a natural fortress. Tall square towers served both as defense and as symbols of tribal power for ruling families. In 1987, UNESCO declared Eit Ben Haddou a World Heritage Site, preserving a rare masterpiece of clay architecture in North Africa. Mount Bromo impresses with a crater over half a kilometer wide and 200 meters deep, constantly releasing sulfur smoke and steam. It is an active stratovolcano about 17,600 feet tall. Part of the Pacific Ring of Fire, Earth's most violent tectonic zone. Every 5-7 years, Bromo erupts mildly, expelling gas, ash, and rock fragments, while lava flows are extremely rare. Locals see the mountain as sacred, holding the Yajna Kasada ritual by throwing offerings directly into the open crater. Around Bromo lies a vast sea of volcanic sand, turning the whole region into a prehistoric desert of ash. Hundreds of thousands visit yearly, but only a few dare to approach the crater's edge, where sulfur fumes cause dizziness. Meteora astonishes with dozens of sandstone pillars rising 300 to over 600 feet, standing like giant watchtowers across the valley. These rock columns were formed more than 60 million years ago and shaped by millions of years of wind and water erosion. The sandstone and conglomerate composition splits easily vertically, making the formations look like they are floating in the air. In the 14th century, monks built monasteries on top of the cliffs, living apart from society to be closer to heaven. The scenery resembles a natural fortress, where architecture blends seamlessly into the stone, with no visible divide between man and nature. Meteora has appeared in fantasy films and video games thanks to its surreal look, resembling a mythological or post-apocalyptic world. Silfra is the only place on Earth where people can dive between the North American and Eurasian tectonic plates, which drift apart by centimeters yearly. The water is so clear that visibility exceeds 100 meters, making divers feel like they're flying, not swimming. Some sections reach over 60 meters deep, but only shallow layers are allowed for safe diving pressure and temperature. The name Silfra means shimmering fracture in Icelandic, describing basalt walls that reflect light like broken glass. Because the water is ultra-pure, divers can drink it while underwater, something almost impossible in other natural sites. Migingo Island is only about 0.5 acre wide, smaller than a soccer field, with bare bedrock and no soil for farming. The island rises in Lake Victoria, Africa's largest freshwater lake, where rough waves and harsh weather dominate. With no natural freshwater, people bring water from the mainland and import all food and supplies by boat. Residents are mostly fishermen, relying on a non-stop fish market while exploiting the rich but threatened ecosystem. At one point, over 1,000 people crowded onto this tiny space, earning it the title, the most crowded island on Earth. Migingo is not an official tourist site, but still attracts visitors who seek something unusual. Sala de Uyuni is known as the largest natural mirror on Earth, where sky and land merge into one endless horizon. Covering more than 4,000 square miles, this giant salt flat is bigger than many small countries. Located at about 12,000 feet on the Altiplano, it experiences extreme temperature differences between day and night. The salt crust averages 30 feet thick, hiding brine lakes beneath and holding nearly 1/3 of the world's lithium reserves. In history, salt from this place was considered valuable trade material among Andean communities. NASA has used Salar de Uyuni to calibrate satellites because the surface is so flat, with errors of only a few centimeters. Vermilion Cliffs is a red sandstone plateau rising like a giant wall in the desert, over 3,000 feet tall and stretching for miles. This highland formed over 190 million years ago, during the transition between the late Triassic and early Jurassic periods. Its red color comes from oxidized iron layers, forming bands of red, orange, and pink across the sandstone. Harsh terrain, dry air, and lack of water make it unlivable, preserving its wild and untouched appearance. In ancient times, nomads used the rock patterns as natural maps to navigate across the desert. Today, scientists call Vermilion Cliffs a living dead zone because it stays lifeless, yet keeps changing shape over time. Mount Roraima is called the roof of South America, with a flat summit often hidden under thick clouds all year. This massive mountain formed 2 billion years ago, a sandstone tabletop known as a tepuy of the Guyana Highlands. Its summit rises about 9,200 feet, surrounded by cliffs more than 1,300 feet tall, creating natural stone walls almost impossible to cross. Millions of years of isolation created a unique ecosystem where many plant species live that exist nowhere else on Earth. Small lakes on the summit hold water with extremely low pH, reflecting conditions similar to Earth's earliest environments. The surface is eroded into bizarre rock shapes, leading photographers to describe it as a mix of Mars and prehistoric times. White Desert is known for pure white limestone pillars up to 30 feet tall, shaped like human heads or giant mushrooms. This desert was formed from ancient seafloor about 80 million years ago, with calcium carbonate rocks reflecting sunlight and moonlight. Some rocks hold coral and marine fossils, proving the area was once under the Tethys Ocean. Local whirlwinds carve pits into the rock that look like acid erosion, but are caused entirely by wind. No human structures can last here because wind and erosion constantly reshape the land. Scientists call it a fossilized desert because ancient rock layers are exposed while new sediment activity has nearly stopped. Wulingyuan holds more than 3,000 sandstone pillars, many rising 300 to over 600 feet, carved by erosion through hundreds of millions of years. These towers are quartzite, tougher than granite, resisting violent rains and seismic shocks across deep geological time. The stone forest was shaped by chemical and mechanical erosion in a humid climate, producing an extraordinary natural formation. Elevations span from 600 to 4,200 feet, creating a vertical difference of more than 3,500 feet inside a narrow space. Caves engraved with ancient tribal symbols once served rituals of harvest and sky worship, showing the spiritual roots of mountain culture. In 1992, UNESCO listed Wulingyuan as a World Heritage Site, affirming its global importance in geology, ecology, and cultural tradition. Mount Merapi is the most active volcano in Indonesia, erupting frequently and reshaping its form every year along the Pacific Ring of Fire. Standing around 9,680 feet tall, its summit is often shrouded in white smoke, sulfur clouds, and ash mist, blending danger with surreal beauty. Pressure from inside the magma chamber can trigger summit explosions or unleash lahar flows, hot volcanic mud that threatens entire regions. Merapi has over 1,000 years of eruption history, recorded in ancient scripts and passed down through generations of local people. After every eruption, the slopes turn into scorched black ash fields with cracked ground, fallen rocks, and lifeless forests. The deadly 2010 eruption killed over 300 people and forced hundreds of thousands to evacuate, marking one of its most destructive events. Lanzarote stands out with red, orange, and black surfaces like a giant burnt land, making the island look like another world. Its rocks are mainly black basalt and volcanic ash, creating land that resists water, holds heat, and makes survival difficult. Lanzarote has more than 300 volcanic craters, many still intact, showing typical geological structures clearly. The island was formed by volcanic activity over 15 million years ago, one of the oldest magma bases in the Atlantic. With no rivers or natural lakes, residents depend on collecting rainwater and desalinating seawater for daily use. From space, Lanzarote appears with dark land edged in red, so NASA lists it among Earth's otherworldly terrains. Çatalhöyük is located in a dry plain in central Turkey and is one of the oldest known human settlements, dating back over 9,000 years. Residents built houses tightly next to each other without streets, using rooftops as walkways, and entering homes through openings on the roofs. The houses had nearly identical layouts, each including a shrine area and wall paintings showing daily life or deity figures. Human remains were found buried beneath house floors, with some skulls painted red and kept as sacred objects. Some theories suggest this reflects ancestor worship, linking the living with the dead through ritual practice. Many visitors report feeling lightheaded or disoriented while walking through the uniform house foundations and enclosed spaces. Baalbek is an ancient temple complex with stone columns over 70 feet high and blocks weighing over 800 tons, built during Roman times. The city sits at about 3,600 feet above sea level, in a dry valley with strong sunlight that helped preserve stone structures for thousands of years. The ruins show cultural influences from Phoenician, Greek, and Roman civilizations, and reflect its religious and political importance in the ancient world. The Temple of Jupiter was one of the largest religious structures outside Rome, built with unmatched stone architecture. The color of the stones changes during the day, shifting from pale yellow to orange and red due to minerals and high-altitude light. The biggest mystery is how ancient builders moved and placed massive stone blocks without modern tools or machinery. Susa was an ancient capital of major empires, with palaces built mostly from mud brick that still show clear foundations after over 2,000 years. The main palace had over 100 columns, many reaching about 70 feet high, decorated with glazed bricks in blue and green, featuring symbolic animals. Susa stored official documents on clay tablets written in Elamite, Akkadian, and Old Persian, showing multilingual administration. Its storage areas held metal, grain, and pottery, sealed with coded clay tags that reflect advanced inventory control. Unlike stone-built fortresses, Susa used earthen walls and mud brick defenses that still formed a stable protective system. Buildings were not laid out in perfect symmetry, but aligned with rituals or the sun's position, reflecting religious architectural thinking. Samarra was once the capital of the Abbasid Empire, known for its straight street layout with near-square angles, unlike most traditional ancient cities. Buildings here were mostly made from sun-dried or baked clay bricks, using no natural stone or metal, forming a light brown landscape stretching to the horizon. Its famous spiral tower was designed with an exterior ramp wide enough for horse carts instead of using interior stairs. Some city walls stretched hundreds of feet long without any patterns, showing a style that emphasized scale over detail. Many interior walls were coated with plaster, stamped using wooden molds, and then painted dark red, a rare technique at the time. Floor surfaces in some buildings were tiled with geometric patterns, combining decorative art with mathematical knowledge. Ctesiphon was the capital of both the Parthian and Sassanid empires, and is known for the Tak Kasra Arch, one of the largest brick domes ever built. This structure was made without support frames and has remained standing for centuries, becoming a symbol of pre-Islamic architecture. The city lies along the Tigris River and benefited from ancient irrigation canals, allowing people to build strong mud brick structures on fertile silt soil. On windy days, Tak Kasra has produced natural echo effects with deep sounds that seem to resonate like a giant musical instrument. Because of the dome's fragile design, excavation in these areas is strictly limited and has not been widely disclosed. Karbala is an important city in Iraq, known as a religious center for Shia Muslims worldwide. This city marks a major historical event, the Battle of Karbala in 680 AD, which deeply influenced the history and beliefs of the community. Karbala lies on a large river plain with a hot desert climate, but still has small green areas due to irrigation systems. The city preserves many archaeological remains and ancient Islamic buildings, showing its long historical value. Some natural phenomena, such as morning mist, create a mysterious atmosphere for pilgrims. The secret element of Karbala relates to legends about the presence of spirits of those who died in the battle and unusual light phenomena recorded in some parts of the city. These factors increase the cultural and spiritual appeal of Karbala. Dashti Lut is one of the harshest deserts in the world, with surface temperatures recorded over 159 degrees Fahrenheit, according to satellite data. The area is known for its kalute formations, large ridges carved by wind and sand that resemble giant natural sculptures. Some parts of the desert are as hard as concrete due to prolonged evaporation, and no large plants can survive there. After rare rainfalls, water flows across the compact surface and forms dark cracks, attracting attention from many researchers. Certain zones are covered by thick black salt layers of unknown origin, and light magnetic interference has been recorded by electronic devices. Some theories propose that the desert center was once a prehistoric lake bed that dried up hundreds of thousands of years ago. Musandam Fjords is a narrow coastal region in northern Oman where limestone mountains drop straight into the sea, forming cliffs nearly 2,000 feet tall. In some places, the The seafloor reaches depths of about 300 feet, just a few steps from the shore, creating still saltwater basins with no current. Some saltwater pools are completely separated from the main sea with high salinity levels and no natural outlet. Many cliff walls show spiral-shaped cracks caused by ancient tectonic shifts, forming rare natural patterns in the rock. Coastal rock formations, shaped like shark jaws, were formed through millions of years of uplift and continuous faulting. Jeddah Old Town is located in western Saudi Arabia and is known for coral stone buildings, wooden mashrabiyah windows, and narrow streets filled with Middle Eastern character. The name Al-Balad means urban district in Arabic, but for locals, it represents centuries of history and cultural identity. Buildings here were designed to suit the coastal climate, with sun-blocking windows and natural ventilation made from carved wood. Though it lacks a natural ecosystem, this area reflects a rich cultural lifestyle through old markets, family-run shops, and lasting community traditions. Some residents have reported strange events like footsteps on wooden floors with no one present, or knocks at night, followed by silence. Visitors often say the place feels nostalgic, especially when yellow lights shine through wooden windows, casting strange shadows on the walls. Luxor is located in southern Egypt and is known for massive ancient structures like Sphinx statues, temples, and long stone avenues stretching hundreds of feet. The name Luxor comes from the Arabic word uqsur, meaning fortresses, describing the stone buildings that look like solid citadels. This place was once the capital of ancient Egypt and was closely tied to sun god worship and important religious ceremonies. Though most of the land is dry, the banks of the Nile still support a diverse ecosystem of water birds, river fish, and reptiles living in reed areas. A famous legend here is the curse of the pharaohs, said to cause strange accidents for those who disturb ancient tombs. Some visitors said that when entering deep temple rooms, the air felt heavy and light barely reached inside. Ubar is an ancient site deep in the Rub al-Khali Desert of Oman, discovered in the late 20th century through satellite images and geological surveys. It was once a key trading center on the incense route, with remains of watchtower foundations, deep wells, and stone structures found in dry desert sands. Ubar is also called the Atlantis of the Sands due to its mysterious disappearance, and some scholars believe it is the Iram of the Pillars mentioned in the Quran. These occurrences make Ubar an archaeological site of interest, combining historical value with unexplained phenomena. Big Major Cay is an uninhabited island in the Bahamas, world famous for its wild pigs that swim freely in turquoise waters. The shallow sea around the island averages less than 5 feet deep, with high salinity that makes it easy for pigs to swim. Its tropical marine climate stays stable year-round, with light winds and short rains, allowing outdoor activities throughout all 12 months. The origin of the pigs is uncertain, with theories suggesting sailors once left them as an emergency food supply long ago. The scenery includes turquoise waters, pure white sand, small coconut groves, and a clear horizon that creates a perfect natural backdrop. Known worldwide as the beach of swimming pigs, It has been featured on hundreds of magazine covers as a one-of-a-kind attraction. Ciudad Encantada is famous for its dolomite limestone formations, created 90 million years ago, resembling a petrified city in the wild. The karst erosion process, where rain and melting snow mixed with CO2 formed acid, carved hundreds of strange and surreal stone figures. Some rocks were sculpted into mushroom-like shapes, standing as if about to collapse, but holding firm for thousands of years. Locals named formations the turtle, the bridge, and the human head, creating myths that blend with the natural landscape. NASA studied the site because its terrain resembles Mars, turning Ciudad Encantada into a natural open-air museum shaped only by time. Kumarkivi amazes everyone by balancing an 80-ton boulder perfectly on a small rock base deep in the forest. The giant stone was formed after the last ice age over 11,000 years ago, carried and left behind by retreating glaciers. Its contact point is only a few square centimeters, yet it has stayed stable for millennia, despite storms, snow, and small quakes. Its defiance of gravity has brought Kumarkivi into science magazines with the title, "The Rock That Cannot Fall." Congo Basin is the second largest river basin in the world after the Amazon, covering more than 1.3 million square miles across Central Africa. It is a massive tropical ecosystem with over 10,000 plant species, about 30% of which are endemic to this region. The primeval forest once sheltered ancient tribes, where survival knowledge was preserved and passed down for generations. Hot and humid weather, with about 95% humidity, allows fungi, lichens, orchids, and vines to thrive in thick abundance. Many zones stay flooded all year, accessible only by walking for days or paddling canoes through endless waterways. NASA once called the Congo Basin the silent lung of the planet, absorbing massive CO2 without producing industrial noise. Staffa was formed by basalt lava eruptions about 60 million years ago during the early expansion of the North Atlantic Ocean. The hexagonal basalt columns rise around 66 feet tall, 1 to 2 feet wide, fitted together like a giant man-made wall. Slow cooling of the lava caused even cracks, producing perfect hexagonal structures considered a masterpiece of nature. The island's main cave stretches about 200 feet long and nearly 70 feet high, once studied for its unique sound resonance. The echo inside gave it the name the Organ of the Sea, a symbol both scientific and mysterious. With no permanent inhabitants, the island remains deserted, making Staffa resemble a stone fortress abandoned in the ocean. Schaefer Ridge was formed from limestone and metamorphic rocks over 200 million years old, proof of geological forces working for countless ages. The peaks rise above 8,000 feet, sharp like giant blades, carved by Pleistocene glaciers into steep, jagged walls. The slopes resemble saw teeth, where strong winds and melting ice continue to grind the ridges into brutal serrated shapes. fallen boulders have created rock fields hundreds of feet wide, marking the violence of natural collapse. Alpine ibex inhabit the cliffs, displaying their extraordinary climbing skills in the harshest conditions. Standing at its base, the rare visitor often describes the experience as facing a stone wall from another planet. Namafjall was created by tectonic activity on the mid-Atlantic ridge, where geothermal energy bursts through sulfur-filled rocks. The name Namafjall means mine mountain, reflecting the sulfur extraction that began here in the 16th century. Boiling mud pools several feet deep reach nearly 200 degrees, bubbling violently year-round like a relentless natural engine. The ground shakes slightly from escaping gas pressure, giving the entire area an unstable and dangerous presence. NASA studied this terrain to simulate another planet, treating the sulfur smoke and red-yellow stains as an alien landscape. The toxic soil blocks all plant growth, leaving a barren ground where the experience feels like stepping into another world. Valle de las Animas was formed from volcanic ash, compacted and eroded for millions of years, creating a unique Bolivian valley. The valley rises above 12,000 feet, where thin air and steep terrain make access a serious challenge. Thousands of sharp stone pillars, up to 200 feet tall, stand close together, called soul columns for their strange shapes. The land is barren with almost no vegetation, the dry soil unable to sustain life, leaving only the stone landscape. Erosion continues daily, changing the pillars' shapes and turning the valley into a landscape always in motion. Walking through this valley is considered one of South America's most unusual journeys, attracting photographers from around the world. Jigokudani Monkey Park, founded in 1964, was created to protect snow monkeys, the primates living at the northernmost latitude on Earth. The name Jigokudani means Hell Valley, describing the volcanic terrain with hot springs erupting from underground. In winter, snow covers more than 3 feet deep, turning the place into a harsh land where few animals can endure. The snow monkeys learn to soak in hot springs at about 140 degrees Celsius, keeping their bodies warm and conserving energy. They are the only animals besides humans that bathe in hot springs, showing an extraordinary adaptation. Visitors must walk snowy mountain paths and witness monkeys soaking in steaming pools, an unforgettable experience. Mono Lake formed nearly 76,000 years ago, making it one of the oldest salt lakes still existing in North America. The lake sits over 6,400 feet high with no outlet to the sea, so water escapes only by evaporation. This process increases the salt and minerals, creating conditions too harsh for fish to survive. Instead, alkali flies and brine shrimp thrive, forming the base of a unique ecosystem. Limestone towers rise from the surface like ruins, alongside volcanic islands born from eruptions in the last 600 years. NASA discovered bacteria able to withstand arsenic here, turning the lake into a natural lab for extraterrestrial biology research. Tristan da Cunha lies more than 1,500 miles from the nearest coast, called the most remote inhabited place on Earth. A massive volcano formed the island, leaving lava fields, ash, and basalt cliffs thousands of feet high. With no airport, all travel and supplies depend on ships, a journey of many days across rough seas. For regular tourists, visiting is nearly impossible, since permission must be requested months in advance. It is one of the rare destinations for scientists studying isolated ecosystems, where a small community lives apart from the world. Today, Tristan da Cunha maintains an economy based on trade and fish exports, showing adaptation under long-lasting isolation. The Atacama is the driest place on Earth, with regions that have not seen rain in 500 years, creating a harsh survival challenge. The desert sits at an average height of 8,000 feet and stretches nearly 600 miles, with terrain of salt, volcanic rock, dunes, and basalt plateaus. Soil salinity is so high that plants cannot survive. Only some extremophile microbes endure in this near-lifeless land. DNA samples here show strong radiation resistance, offering value for studying possible life in space. In 2003, NASA tested a Mars rover in Atacama, using the desert as a model of the red planet. Visitors come for stargazing, to view ancient geoglyphs carved into the earth, and to experience the surreal red-orange sunrise. Goblin Valley was formed from Entrada sandstone about 170 million years old, deposited in the Jurassic when the area was once a vast dune desert. The rocks have a reddish-brown color from oxidized iron minerals, giving the valley a strange appearance unlike other Western landscapes. The Goblin stone pillars were shaped by uneven erosion from wind and rain, many resembling people, animals, or bizarre sculptures. The valley was rediscovered in the 1920s by cowboys, and in 1964 it was officially declared a state park. The terrain continues to change as wind erosion reshapes the pillars over time, creating an unreal landscape. The Namib Desert is over 55 million years old, considered the oldest desert on Earth, stretching about 1,200 miles along Namibia's coast. Some areas have been dry for thousands of years, with landscapes so vast they appear endless from space. Giant dunes rise more than 1,200 feet, among the tallest in the world, reshaped daily by powerful winds. Beneath the barren sands lie ancient aquifers, along with salt valleys and fossilized dead trees. The Namib coast is known for thick fog year-round and shipwrecks scattered along the shore, earning the name Ship Graveyard. In 2013, the Namib was declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site, a living record of Earth's oldest desert ecosystem. The Giant's Causeway was formed from volcanic lava more than 50 million years ago, when the area saw one of Ireland's largest eruptions. The site features over 4,000 basalt columns packed tightly together, most with hexagonal shapes, while some are pentagonal or octagonal. The columns range from a few feet up to 39 feet high, with many extending under the sea and stretching offshore. Their near-perfect regularity once sparked debates that the structure could have been made by humans. Visitors can walk directly across the stones leading down to the sea, experiencing a landscape both grand and unusual. The Giant's Causeway was recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1986, a global symbol of volcanic power and natural artistry. Dalol lies in the Danakil Depression about 380 feet below sea level, created by volcanic eruptions beneath thick salt layers. It is one of the hottest places on Earth by annual average, with conditions where no plants or animals can exist. The last eruption was recorded in 1926, and the area is often shaken by small quakes linked to tectonic activity. Pools here change color within weeks as minerals shift, forming surreal scenes of green, yellow, and red across the land. Scientists discovered extremophile microbes surviving here, organisms able to live under conditions almost impossible to recreate in labs. Dalol stands as a stark example of the extreme connection between geology, climate, and life pushed to its harshest limits on Earth. Shingi in Malagasy means the place where one cannot walk barefoot, a name that reflects Madagascar's jagged limestone landscape. Sharp limestone towers over 200 feet high, and cliffs reaching 300 feet were formed by millions of years of acidic rain dissolving rock. From above, the entire area looks like the surface of another planet, with thousands of sharp stone spires rising to the sky. Deep fissures cut through the land, forming a tropical karst maze that makes movement here a survival challenge. The ecosystem of Tsingy is extremely rich, with many endemic species found only here and others not yet studied. Tsingy stands as a prime example of tropical karst, where harsh geology and resilient life exist side by side. Wadi Rum, also called the Valley of the Moon, is the largest rock desert in Jordan, with landscapes resembling another planet. Its massive sandstone and granite cliffs rise over 4,000 feet, carved for millions of years by winds and ancient floods. The valley stretches with red sands, crossed by towering dunes, deep canyons, and colossal natural stone arches. It was once a caravan route where the Nabateans left hundreds of inscriptions, turning the desert into an open-air archive. UNESCO recognizes Wadi Rum as a World Heritage Site, blending raw landscapes with human traces that still endure through time. The clash between burning red sands and colossal dark rocks makes this one of the strangest and most brutal landscapes on Earth. Badabi Surt stands out with giant natural terraces of many colors, created by carbonate springs flowing for thousands of years. Iron, calcium, and carbonate deposits paint red, orange, yellow, and white layers, shifting shades under changing light through the day. More than 100 uneven steps rise like a massive sculpture of nature, reflecting the sky across crystal-clear water surfaces. In winter, water freezes in thin layers over red minerals, turning the site into a surreal frozen stage. In old beliefs, the place was sacred, its waters thought to heal skin diseases passed down in local traditions. Today, Badabi Surt is a national natural monument, both a destination for travelers and an outdoor geological laboratory. Arabia Mountain rises as a massive granite monadnock nearly 955 feet tall, standing alone against the green plains around it. Across its surface, thousands of shallow pits collect rainwater, supporting rare plants like diamorpha that turn crimson in spring. The swirling veins inside the granite reveal violent metamorphic history, a record of Earth's formation spanning hundreds of millions of years. This place once served as a quarry for tidal grey granite, stone shipped to build city streets and monumental structures. At sunset, long shadows stretch across the rock, making its twisted veins glow against the distant skyline of Atlanta. In 2006, Arabia Mountain was declared a National Heritage Area, merging ancient geology with the scars of industrial history.